In Brazil, football isn't a game, it's a language. And Neymar learned to speak it before he learned to dream. His first playground wasn't built with perfect grass. It was painted with dust, cracked concrete, laughter, and impossible imagination. Every dribble was a conversation. Every nutmeg was a joke. Every goal was a promise whispered to a nation searching for its next magician. They didn't compare him to legends because they wanted another hero. They compared him because they had never seen a teenager dance with the ball quite like this since Pelé wore the white shirt of Santos. Santos wasn't just another club. It was sacred ground, the home where Pelé had become eternal. Now another young number 11 arrived, carrying impossible expectations without ever asking for them. He didn't play football, he painted it. The ball followed his feet like it had signed a lifelong contract. Defenders lunged. He smiled. Crowds gasped. He kept dancing. Then came a goal so outrageous that the entire football world stopped to watch. A twisting solo run that earned him the FIFA Puskas Award. Proof that sometimes beauty is more unforgettable than power. In 2011, Santos climbed back to South America's summit. The Copa Libertadores returned home for the first time in decades. Neymar wasn't simply lifting a trophy. He was reviving a sleeping giant. Europe had been watching. Now they were waiting. Then came the call that changes every Brazilian dream. Barcelona. A city where greatness wasn't enough. You had to become history. Beside Lionel Messi, alongside Luis Suarez, three artists became one masterpiece. MSN, a front line that attacked like poetry written at impossible speed. The goals arrived in waves. The assist became instinct. The trophies followed naturally. In 2015, Europe belonged to Barcelona. La Liga, Copa del Rey, the UEFA Champions League, a historic treble. Neymar stood on the Ballon d'Or podium among football's immortals, proving he was no longer tomorrow's star. He was today's reality. Then came one unforgettable night. Barcelona against Paris. 4 goals behind. Impossible stared back from the scoreboard. But football has one weakness. It sometimes believes in dreamers. The Camp Nou exploded. One goal. Another. Then another. And when Neymar bent a free kick into destiny, converted a penalty under unbearable pressure, and delivered the final pass that completed the impossible 6-1 remontada, football witnessed one of its greatest miracles. At that moment, he had everything. Club glory, worldwide fame, the respect of teammates, the admiration of millions. But football has a cruel habit. Just when you reach the highest mountain, it asks you to carry an entire nation on your shoulders. And somewhere beyond Barcelona, Brazil waited, not for Neymar the superstar, but for Neymar the savior. The yellow shirt was calling him home, and home was about to become the heaviest place on earth. The brightest jersey in football can also be the heaviest. Barcelona gave Neymar applause. Brazil demanded miracles. Every touch, every dribble, every missed chance was judged by 200 million beating hearts. This was not just another World Cup. It was Brazil's World Cup. Home soil, home pressure, home dreams. A nation that measured time through football believed its next chapter had finally arrived. And at just 22 years old, one young man carried the hopes of an entire country. The streets turned yellow. Windows waved green flags. Children copied his haircut. Mothers whispered prayers before kickoff. Every goal Neymar scored felt like another heartbeat keeping Brazil alive. Against Croatia, he answered the pressure. Against Cameroon, he dazzled. Against Chile, Brazil survived a battle decided by penalties. Then came Colombia. 90 minutes from the semi-final. 90 minutes from history. The match wasn't football anymore. It became a war disguised as a game. Every run was chased. Every touch was punished. Every smile disappeared beneath the weight of expectation. Yet Neymar kept fighting. Because that's what dreamers do. They dance. Even when the music becomes violence. Then, one moment, one challenge, one knee. Juan Camilo Zúñiga crashed into Neymar's back. The stadium fell silent. The boy who once floated across dusty streets couldn't stand. He lay on the grass staring into the Brazilian sky, not in defeat, but in disbelief. A fractured vertebra, 2 centimeters. Doctors later said 2 more centimeters. And football might have disappeared from his life forever. The nation's heartbeat stopped, not because Brazil had lost, because its hope had been carried away. The cameras captured something no Brazilian wanted to see. A helicopter rising above the training camp, its blades cutting through the sky like the sound of broken dreams inside Neymar, leaving not because he wanted to, but because his body had surrendered. It wasn't a journey. It was an evacuation from a battlefield. Below him, teammates remained. Above him, a nation prayed. And somewhere between earth and sky, Brazil's dream drifted away with him. Days later, he watched from afar, unable to run, unable to help, unable to change what came next. Germany, 7. Brazil, 1. The mini realm became a cathedral of silence. Children cried, parents stared without words. Players broke beneath the weight of history. Neymar could only watch the wreckage unfold from a distance. Sometimes, the hardest battles are the ones fought without the chance to step onto the field. The world questioned Brazil. The world questioned Neymar. Could he ever carry this nation again? Could he ever escape the shadow of that helicopter, of that injury, of that impossible scoreline that would haunt football forever? Those questions echoed louder than any stadium chant. Because while Barcelona had made him a superstar, Brazil had reminded him that greatness without complete freedom still feels like a cage. If destiny refused to let him become the greatest beside others, perhaps he would have to leave everything behind. Leave the club where he had conquered Europe. Leave the comfort of
sharing the stage with the game's biggest stars. Leave even the shadow of Lionel Messi to discover whether the king he was searching for had been hiding inside him all along. And so, the biggest gamble in football history began to whisper his name. Paris was waiting.
Some people run toward destiny. Others have to buy their freedom. The summer of 2017 changed football forever. 222 million euros, not just a transfer, a declaration. The largest fee the sport had ever witnessed. The world asked one question: why would a man leave Barcelona? Why walk away from Messi, from Suarez, from a team that had already conquered Europe? Because legends are not remembered for standing beside greatness. They are remembered for becoming it. Neymar wasn't running from Messi. He was running toward his own name. Paris became his new stage. The lights were brighter, the expectations heavier. Every goal was expected. Every trophy demanded. Anything less than the Champions League was failure. In France, he was unstoppable. Defenders bounced off him like waves against stone. League titles arrived. Domestic cups piled higher. The goals kept coming. The assists multiplied. Crowds filled stadiums just to witness one impossible dribble, one outrageous flick, one reminder that football could still be art. But while his feet created magic, his body began writing another story, a cruel one, a metatarsal fracture, recovery, another injury, another comeback, an ankle twisted, months lost. Every season followed the same haunting rhythm, just as the Champions League anthem echoed through Europe. The treatment table called his name. It was as if fate had wrapped invisible chains around the ankles of football's greatest dancer. Not enough to stop him forever, only enough to slow him. Again and again. Champions don't always play without pain. Sometimes they simply learn how to hide it. Every return carried hope. Every sprint carried fear. Every tackle made millions hold their breath. Yet Neymar refused to disappear. He played through bruises. He smiled through criticism. He carried Paris toward the dream it had chased for decades. Then, 2020, the world stood still. Empty stadiums, silent nights. Football continued inside echoes, against all odds. Paris Saint-Germain reached its first UEFA Champions League final. Neymar danced once more through Europe's giants. Atalanta, RB Leipzig, another chance, another mountain, another dream. But dreams don't always end with medals. Bayern Munich stood at the summit. One goal separated glory from heartbreak. Paris fell. Neymar collapsed onto the grass, not because he lacked talent, not because he lacked courage, but because football can be beautifully unfair. The critics counted trophies. They counted injuries even louder. They forgot the nights he played through pain. They forgot the scars hidden beneath the socks. They forgot that even artists bleed. His body had become a battlefield. Every comeback demanded another sacrifice. Every smile hid another rehabilitation session. Every season asked the same impossible question: how much more can one man give? The answer was everything. Because while his club career bent beneath the weight of broken bones and broken expectations, one dream remained untouched. One shirt still carried unfinished business. Green, yellow, blue. Brazil had never stopped calling. Not after 2014. Not after the tears. Not after the criticism. Not after the injuries. If redemption still existed, it wouldn't be found beneath the lights of Paris. It would be found beneath the flag he had carried since childhood. The world had watched Neymar become a phenomenon. Now, it was time to discover whether he could become something even greater. The heartbeat of an entire nation.
There is a place every footballer returns to. Not because they have to, because they belong. For Neymar, that place was never Barcelona, never Paris. It was the yellow shirt, a jersey stitched together with history, carried by giants, and waiting for another. After the nightmare of 2014, he came back not to erase the pain, but to prove pain could not erase him. Then came Rio, the Olympic Games, not just another tournament. A chance to heal a nation where the wound had first opened. The pressure returned, so did the memories. Every stadium still echoed with whispers of 7-1. Every touch reminded people of what had been lost. Yet Neymar refused to run from the ghosts against Germany. The script offered no mercy, 90 minutes extra time. Nothing separated the two nations, then penalties. The same country that had shattered Brazil's heart now stood between Brazil and history. Neymar stepped forward. One kick, one heartbeat, one nation holding its breath. The net rippled, the stadium exploded. He fell to his knees, not in exhaustion, in release. Brazil had won its first Olympic football gold medal. For a brief, unforgettable moment, the tears were no longer born from heartbreak. They came from healing. Time kept moving, matches became years, years became milestones. Goals continued to arrive, some curled into the top corner, others danced past entire defenses. Every celebration carried another page of history. People debated his hairstyles, his transfers, his injuries, his headlines, but the numbers never stopped growing. Then one night, history changed forever. With another goal for Brazil, Neymar surpassed Pelé's official goal tally for the senior men's national team. The boy, once compared to the king, now stood above him on the scoring chart. He didn't replace Pelé, no one ever could. He simply wrote his own chapter beside the greatest name Brazilian football has ever known. The applause was deserved, but destiny still withheld the prize that mattered most. The World Cup. Russia. 2018. Hope arrived, so did disappointment. Brazil's journey ended before the dream could bloom. 4 years later, Qatar, older, wiser, still carrying the same impossible ambition. Against Croatia, he produced a moment worthy of eternity. A run through defenders, a finish carved from genius. For a few precious minutes, it looked as though destiny had finally smiled. But football can change faster than a heartbeat. Croatia equalized. Penalties followed. Brazil fell. Neymar stood frozen. The tears returned, not loud, not dramatic, just silent. The kind of tears that only appear when someone realizes time is running away. Then came another cruel twist, an ACL injury while playing for Al Hilal. Another operating room, another rehabilitation, another mountain to climb. The body that once danced through defenders now fought simply to walk without pain. The headlines changed. Some called him finished. Some said the story was over, that the magician had performed his final trick.
that Brazil had already turned the page. Months passed, the stadiums moved on, the noise faded until one day a phone rang, not with promises, not with empathy, but with one final invitation. The yellow shirt was calling once again, and somewhere beyond recovery, beyond doubt, beyond every scar written across his body, one last World Cup waited.
Some phone calls don't just change careers, they become history for months. The football world kept asking the same question: would Neymar ever wear the yellow shirt again? Some believed the injuries had finally won. Some said his body had given everything it could. Others believed Brazil had already moved on. A new generation had arrived. New heroes, new dreams, and perhaps a new number 10. Then, one ordinary afternoon, everything changed. The Brazil squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup was announced. Millions stopped scrolling. Televisions grew quiet. Phones refreshed every second. One by one, the names appeared. Then, Neymar Jr. For a heartbeat. Brazil stood still. And then, the nation exploded. Fireworks echoed through neighborhoods. Bars erupted in celebration. Children jumped around their living rooms wearing the famous yellow jersey. Old supporters smiled through tears. Social media became a flood of emotion. The prince is back. One last dance. Bring the hexa home. Even rivals, even critics, pause to witness history. Because moments like these belong to football itself, not to opinions. When Neymar arrived at Brazil's training camp, the cameras followed every step. Not because they were looking at football's most expensive transfer. Not because they were chasing another celebrity headline. They were watching survival. This wasn't the fearless teenager from Santos anymore. This wasn't the magician who dazzled Barcelona. This wasn't the superstar who arrived in Paris carrying the weight of a world record transfer. This was a man stitched together by scars. A warrior rebuilt after broken bones. A dream that refused to die. Every sprint carried years of sacrifice. Every smile hid thousands of hours inside rehabilitation rooms. Every touch reminded the world. Some people don't come back because it's easy. They come back because quitting was never part of their story. Football had already given Neymar almost everything. The Copa Libertadores, the UEFA Champions League, the historic treble, league titles, the FIFA Puskas Award, Olympic gold, Ballon d'Or podium finishes. Brazil's all-time official leading goal scorer. Records, fame, legacy. Yet one space remained empty. One dream continued to call his name. The FIFA World Cup. Not for statistics, not for headlines, not for individual glory, but for Brazil. For every child kicking a ball through the streets of São Paulo, Rio, Salvador, Recife, and Mogi das Cruzes. For every supporter who had cried in 2014. For every teammate who had fallen short in 2018. For every broken heart in 2022. The sixth star, the hexa, still waited. People will always ask, what if he had never been injured? What if 2014 had ended differently?
What if Paris had brought the Champions League? What if fate had shown just a little more mercy? But legends are not remembered because life was fair. They are remembered because they kept standing after life wasn't. Neymar taught football that joy could survive pressure, that creativity could survive criticism, that imagination could survive pain. He played with the soul of a child, inside the body of a man constantly tested by fate. Every elastic dribble, every fearless nutmeg, every impossible goal reminded the world that football wasn't invented to be safe. It was invented to make people dream. One day, the boots will be placed aside. The stadium lights will dim. Another generation will wear Brazil's number 10. Another child will begin chasing a ball across dusty streets. He will try a trick his coach tells him not to attempt. He will smile after losing the ball. He will play without fear, without realizing it. He will be speaking the language Neymar helped teach the world. Because football was never just about lifting trophies. It was about making millions fall in love with the game. From the streets of Mogi das Cruzes, to the sacred home of Santos, to the magical nights of Barcelona, to the bright lights of Paris, through helicopters, broken bones, Olympic gold, World Cup heartbreak, and one unforgettable return to wear Brazil's colors once more.